unto a friend suffice a stipulated price, which also Aristotle mentions, and Euripides, by calling Hippolytus scholar of the holy Pythius, shows the opinion that the world had of him. Aegeus, being desirous of children and consulting the oracle of Delphi, received the celebrated answer which forbade him the company of any woman before his return to Athens. But the oracle being so obscure as not to satisfy him that he was clearly forbid this, he went to Troezen and communicated to Pythius the voice of the god, which was in this manner: Loose not the wine-skinned foot, thou chief of men, until to Athens thou art come again. Pythius, therefore, taking advantage from the obscurity of the oracle, prevailed upon him, it's uncertain whether by persuasion or deceit, to lie with his daughter Aethra. Aegeus afterwards, knowing her whom he had lain with to be Pythius's daughter, and suspecting her to be with child by him, left a sword and a pair of shoes, hiding them under a great stone that had a hollow in it exactly fitting them, and went away, making her only privy to it, and commanding her, if she brought forth a son, who, when he came to man's estate, should be able to lift up the stone and take away what he had left there, she should send him way to him with those things with all secrecy, and with injunctions to him as much as possible to conceal his journey from everyone. For he greatly feared the Palentidae, who were continually mutinying against him, and despised him for his want of children, they themselves being 50 brothers, all sons of Pallas. When Aethra was delivered of a son, some say that he was immediately named Theseus, from the tokens which his father had put under the stone, others that he had received his name afterwards at Athens, when Aegeus acknowledged him for his son. He was brought up under his grandfather Pythius, and had a tutor and attendant sent over him named Conidas, to whom the Athenians, even to this time, the day before the feast that is dedicated to Theseus, sacrifice a lamb, giving this honour to his memory upon much juster grounds than to Selenio and Parrhasius for making pictures and statues of Theseus. There being then a custom for the Grecian youth, upon their first coming to man's estate, to go to Delphi and offer first fruits of their hair to the god, Theseus also went thither, and a place there to this day is yet named Thesea, as it said from him. He clipped only the fore part of his head, as Homer says the Abantes did, and this sort of tonsure was from him named Theseus. The Abantes first used it not in imitation of the Arabians, as some imagine, nor of the Mysians, but because they were a warlike people, and used to close fighting, and above all other nations accustomed to engage hand to hand, as Archilochus testifies in these verses: Slings shall not whirl, nor many arrows fly, when on the plain the battle joins, but swords, man against man, the deadly conflict try, as is the practice of Euboea's lords, skilled with the spear. Therefore, that they might not give their enemies a hold by their hair, they cut it in this manner. They write also that this was the reason why Alexander gave command to his captains, that all the beards of the Macedonians should be shaved, as being the readiest hold for an enemy. Aethra for some time concealed the true parentage of Theseus, and a report was given out by Pythius that he was begotten by Neptune, for the Troezenians pay Neptune the highest veneration. He is their tutelar god, to him they offer all their first fruits, and in his honour stamp their money with a trident. Theseus, displaying not only great strength of body, but equal bravery, and a quickness alike and force of understanding, his mother Aethra, conducting him to the stone, and informing him who was his true father, commanded him to take from thence the tokens that Aegeus had left, and sail to Athens. He without any difficulty set himself to the stone, and lifted it up, but refused to take his journey by sea, though it was much the safer way, and though his mother and grandfather begged him to do so, for it was at that time very dangerous to go by land on the road to Athens, no part of it being free from robbers and murderers. That age produced a sort of men in force of hand and swiftness of foot and strength of body, excelling the ordinary rate.